Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to talk about Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. Alchemy of Secrets is out on October 7th. Now, this is Stephanie's new adult, and I believe her first adult novel. She, of course, is famous for the Caraval series and the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, which I will preface this video by saying I have read none of those books. So I am judging Alchemy of Secrets just on the rest of the books I've read in my life, and I'm not judging this book based on her other writings. Okay, basic plot. This book follows our female main character. Her name is Holland St. James. Now, she is in a class in university called Folklore 517. It's a class that's about all of the legends and folklore and myths surrounding pretty much Los Angeles. So things like if you find the watchman and ask him what time it is, he'll tell you the exact date and time that you'll die. Also that there's like a magical hotel that you can't find unless you have a key already. And, so it's sort of things like that, but it's all surrounding myth and lore within Los Angeles. So Holland is in university. She's taking this class, and the professor of this class is sort of her advisor. She's writing a dissertation about folklore. One day she goes to visit her professor and ask her a question because she thinks she's found the watchman. And she finds that her professor's been fired and a new guy named Adam has taken over the position. And he tells her, hey, I think your old teacher was kind of a quack and that you shouldn't write this dissertation. And she's kind of like, this isn't right. I need to go talk to my professor. This is messed up. Her finding the watchman and all this sort of sets into motion a lot of these fables and folklores coming to life around her and her having to navigate that. Now, this part of the video will be the non-spoiler review portion of this book. Towards the end of this video, I'm also going to do a spoiler review. Simply put, I hated this book. First of all, it's quite short. It's only about 330 pages. And I don't say this often, but this book needed to be about 200 pages longer. Things happen so quickly in this book that there is no time with the characters, with the repercussions of certain things happening, with understanding what's happening. It just goes. I'm not exaggerating when I say that on some pages, singular pages of this book, 5 to 7 major plot points will all be happened or revealed within one page of the book. So I don't care when any reveal happens because I've got no time to even understand the world that we're in. And I feel like because she just rushes through these things so fast, this book is filled with plot holes. Everything, including the inciting action of this book, is a plot hole. Our female main character, Holland, also is a moron. She's supposedly really smart and good at solving puzzles and all this, but the entire book, she's just being led around by other people. Now, there's two main men in this book, Adam and Gabe. Gabe finds her and says, hey, I need you to follow me. I'm friends with your twin sister. I forgot to mention the twin sister before because the twin sister has absolutely no purpose to this book. He's like, hey, I know your twin sister. You've got to come with me. I'm going to help you find the alchemical heart. Is that even how you pronounce it? I'm just going to call it the heart from now on. He goes, come with me. We're going to go find the heart, which is this magical thing that supposedly basically can make any wish happen almost. Your sister sent me. We're buddies. Let's go. And she's like, I don't know if I should trust him, but he is very attractive, so I should probably do that. She's like, well, let me contact my sister. And he's like, you can't. You could try texting her. At that point, that's the only time in the whole book that she attempts to make contact with her twin sister, even though her twin sister is the only one who supposedly can vouch for anybody within this book. Everything could have been solved on who to trust and who to not trust if she'd just gone, hey sis, what's up? So she goes with Gabe. Then a couple chapters later, she runs into Adam, and Adam's like, hey, don't trust Gabe. Your sister sent me, not him. You have to follow me. And she goes, wow, I don't know if I should trust Adam, but he is very attractive, so maybe I will follow him. And then she just leaves with that guy. Then Gabe comes back in and goes, hey, why did you ditch me? Adam's a bad guy. You should stick with me. And she goes, oh, is he? Maybe he is. I should probably trust Gabe because he is very attractive. Lather, rinse, repeat through the whole book. When I started reading this book, I don't think Stephanie Garber had said whether or not this book was going to be a standalone or a series yet. Now it sounds like she has confirmed on her Instagram stories that it will be a series. But if you had to ask me still, if we still didn't know, I would say, is it a standalone? I don't know, because the ending is so nonsensical and so It doesn't feel like it's a series. It also doesn't feel like it's a standalone because nothing is answered or solved. But again, the plot holes are ripe. So nothing being solved wasn't even surprising to me. But apparently it's going to be a series. This was already one book too long. I have no idea where this series even goes. Usually you finish a book and you go, okay, yeah, this will be what we need to solve or what we need to figure out for the next book. Not in this one, there's not. The only thing that's a question mark for me is where's your sister at? Because she gets mentioned about 1 trillion times in the first book. We never see her. She's not important besides being mentioned a lot. And she seems to know everything and yet doesn't help you at all. Oh my God, I hated it so much. Yeah, obviously I am not recommending this book. If you're still really curious, you want to give the book a try, just get it on Libby. Just get it from your library. It's going to be a long hold and a wait, and I understand that. Just do it that way. And then if you read it and go, oh my God, actually, I loved it. Bailey's crazy. Then power to you, man. But I'd like to think maybe I could save you a little bit of money on this one. Okay, now here's the full spoiler part of this review. Specifically, I want to talk about all the plot holes in this book. The first thing that happens in this book is her and the guy she is dating find the Watchman. They both ask the Watchman when they will die, and the Watchman tells them both. The boyfriend / guy she's dating calls her and says, the Watchman called me. You've got to come help me. He says I'm going to be dead in like an hour. She goes running over to his apartment and she finds out that he's actually been sent by some organization to get close to her to pretend to be her boyfriend in order to find this magical heart thing. What is this organization that sent him? Now, I know this is a series and maybe it'll get answered in a future book, but this big thing happens and it's supposed to act like, oh my God, and then it just doesn't matter. It's completely just thrown away like, oh yeah, she was dating that guy and then he died. Okay. Then her professor, who she talks about being really close with, this is her advisor. This is the person that's helping her with her dissertation paper, all of this stuff. She talks about going to this person's house. Her professor loses her job, quits, and kind of disappears, and she's trying to find her professor. And this action is a lot of what the inciting action of this book is. Then later on in the book, she talks about her professor as if she wasn't a nice person. She was kind of a jerk to her. They weren't that close. And you're like, wait a second, supposedly your friendship was so great that you needed to go out and find her when she just quit her job. Now you don't like the woman? Also, the professor ends up being one of the bank managers at the magical bank, and we get this scene with her that then doesn't really matter, and they have basically no relationship, and they don't talk about things, and the professor doesn't help her at all. So this character, pointless. Adam is her new professor / advisor at school. Adam then, of course, comes back in later in the book as somebody who's trying to help her find the heart, who she has a crush on, and she also kisses both men in a very short period of time and is like, oh God. At the end of the book, you find out that she's actually been reliving the same day over and over and over again. At the end of the day, when she does, it's Halloween, mind you. At the end of Halloween, at the end of the night, when she doesn't have the heart, when she doesn't have this magical object, it resets. And within this, Adam has been the one who is literally stabbing her in the back and taking the heart from her. But he's not supposed to have it, so the heart resets the date and they start over. I get the feeling that Adam does not know he is in a time loop. I believe that the devil who we meet at the end of the book is the only one who knows. That's the feeling I got. By going back to the beginning where he tells her in his advisor meeting that she shouldn't be writing about this folklore stuff because it's weird and it's not true, and her old professor was a crackpot and she didn't know anything and none of this is real. He's actually taking her off the path from finding the heart, which he needs to go with her to find in order to steal it from her. Why would he tell her to not follow up on the folklore things when he needs her to do that to get the heart? Shouldn't he be encouraging her to go out and look at these things and find these folklore things within Los Angeles so that he can go with her to then take this magical object? Immediately, I'm like, this makes no sense. I feel like I could go on and on and on and on about how bad this book was. There is about 50 other things that happen in this book that are not explained or to me just made no sense to the plot. I don't even have time to go through them all. We're in a time loop, but why does her nose keep bleeding? Not really explained. Why, when she meets other people like the Watchman and the professor, do they glitch out and they're bleeding from the head? Never explained. I'm obviously glad I read it because I'm not getting any special editions of it now, of which I probably would have bought the Fairy Loot one to match my other special editions I have from Stephanie Garber. Honestly, I will read Caraval and Once a Broken Heart someday, but it was pretty far up on my TBR and it has all the way down. So didn't like it. It was terrible. Don't recommend it. Again, Alchemy of Secrets comes out October 7th. Thank you for watching.